32 community. Happy Thursday. Taylor C. Baker here, Director of Content. I am so thrilled to be going live today with Toronto-based Stage 32 member and actor Corey Dixon. We're going to be talking about his really inspirational blog, Battling Through Struggles, Keeping Busy While in a Busy Industry. And he has just requested to get him in here now. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're getting Corey in right now. Seeing the hearts. Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, Taylor. Thanks so much for having me, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the whole Stage 32 crew.
Ah, thank you. I am so happy to hear that. Love the neon lights behind you. That looks groovy.
Oh yes, I had to do that, especially like during COVID. I was like, I gotta spice up, the room a little.
Yeah, I love that. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Taylor C. Baker. I am the Director of Content here at Stage 32. We are the world's largest online platform for connecting and educating film, TV, and digital professionals worldwide. We have over 750,000 members from almost every country. And Corey here is one of them. And we are so excited to have him here today chatting about his blog. So Corey, to get us started, can you tell us a little bit about what you enjoy about being a Stage 32 member?
Yeah, honestly, ever since I joined, especially like, when you guys, published the blog for me and stuff, and we put it up there, the amount of support I just got from, everybody that was in the Stage 32 community was unreal. And I think what really touched my heart too is that they're all people that have the same sort of love and respect for the industry that I do. So it was really nice to see that. And it's such a great platform to connect with each other, and just especially now with COVID, it's just it's a great platform to reach out and say, hey, I'm working on this project. And yeah, I love it. It's such a great platform.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we've been around for about 10 years now, and we've been online the whole time. And just in the past year since COVID really started, we've welcomed over 100,000 new members because people have just been trying to find ways to stay active. And it's been really inspiring to see how many people have had huge career successes, met people that have changed their careers and stayed motivated, because we're gonna talk a lot about this today. The entertainment industry can be a bit of a roller coaster, and this past year was no exception. And we really pride ourselves on being like a positive social media and like really a force for good. And that is something we are going to get into a lot here. So hello, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you do have questions, feel free to type them in the comment box or hit the little question mark below, and I will direct them to Corey. There's a quote in your blog that I particularly love, that I think kind of sums up our conversation today. You say, the entertainment industry can be intense and it's easy to lose yourself in the chaos. Can you talk a little bit about what that means for you and your personal journey and how other people can avoid getting lost in the chaos?
Yeah, so I think it's really hard to avoid getting lost in the chaos per se, because we deal with struggles every day, even just outside the entertainment industry alone. So I think it has a lot to do with learning different coping methods and learning how to cope with your mental health. And your mental health is no joke. And I think a lot of people kind of they put it to the side a lot, and they they're focused on their careers so much, which is great, right? But I think there's always that time you need to reflect and take a seat back and really focus on your mental health. In the entertainment industry, I've done several events. I've had the absolute honor of working with some amazing people in the entertainment industry. And it's a very, rushed industry, and it's a very, busy industry. And it is hard to kind of, juggle both your mental health and trying to focus on such a serious project, while you're working on set, while you're working on events. But you really do have to take time for yourself. If you're on set, go to the trailer and kind of take some deep breaths, and do some meditation and whatnot. And if it comes to it, I always say too, it's like you should be able to reach out to others as well. It's a lot easier said than done. But if you're working in the entertainment industry, you're working an event, if there's someone there at the event or on set that you can trust and talk to, or that reach out to them and pull them aside and say, hey, listen, I'm going through this right now. Can we talk? Right?
Yeah.
Deal with it in that moment. Because if you leave it and it builds up, it's not going to be, very good for the long run.
Absolutely. And I mean, I can definitely speak. I know here in America, there's a real hustle, and especially in the entertainment industry, like there's a lot of pressure really surrounding doing a lot and constantly being working, and not just having 3 projects in the pipeline, but having 6 projects in the pipeline. And it can be a lot of pressure and a lot of stress for anyone, no matter what role you wear, or what hat you wear in the entertainment industry. Paul, he typed in very true. So he is definitely on the same camp as us. So what are some things, I know you mentioned like meditation or taking some time for yourself in the trailer, reaching out to people. What are some other things that help you kind of come back to neutral and check in with yourself in this process?
Yeah, well, see, everyone's coping methods in regards to their mental health is different. So, a lot of stuff that I do to, help myself may not work for somebody else. I always like to, re-say whatever, that you should always be looking for healthy coping methods. I know, unfortunately, a lot of people turn to like drugs and alcohol as a resort, and it's like a temporary kind of fix to get themselves out of that mood. But the reality is it's not healthy doing that sort of stuff, and it's a very serious issue. And the more that you kind of take the time to focus on what your coping methods are and what works best for you in a healthy manner, the sooner that I feel you're going to feel a lot more comfortable with yourself. I mean, me on a daily basis, I still face depression. I still face anxiety. I have most of my life. I have my coping methods, but do they always work? No, they don't. Sometimes I have to turn to a therapist. Sometimes I have to turn to, someone close to me and talk to them, because, I've had days where I don't want to leave my bed. I've had days where I've cried randomly for no reason, well, at least to me, no reason. You think about, it's like, why am I crying? Why am I so sad right now? But the reality of it is that, if you don't learn these coping methods and take the time to slowly but surely figure out your coping methods, it's kind of just going to be a vicious circle, and it will always be a vicious circle. But if you get those coping methods, then it'll kind of slow down that vicious circle just a little bit.
That's really great advice. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. I saw Allison Vaughn TV just said, I just tuned in. What's the topic? Thank you, Pink Dreams Inc., for saying mental health and entertainment industry. That is, in fact, what we're talking about here. The Stage 32 member, actor, and motivational speaker, Corey Dixon. Thank you guys so much. And there's something you mentioned in your blog I particularly love in that instance, because you're talking about, one day you could be up and the next day you could be in your bed and be like, why am I crying? You write in your blog, a tip you give is write a list of the things that help you, because every day maybe, and when you're in that moment where you don't want to get out of bed or you're feeling off, like your brain may not immediately be like, oh yeah, I need to meditate. I know that makes, so if you have like something to kind of look at and remind yourself, I think that's a really great tip, because it is hard to sometimes switch between modes. Another tip that you gave, which you mentioned everyone is different, which of course everyone has their thing. Somebody might want to go on a walk, somebody might journal, everyone has something different. One of the things you put specifically in your blog that I want to highlight is you said, be around animals, like pet your dog. Yeah. Go outside, watch the birds, because I swear anytime I just look in the eyes of my dog, I'm like, I'm good now. I feel better.
Yep. Yeah, no, animals are great, honestly. I've had a few pets over the years, and unfortunately they've passed away due to an illness or whatever. But, I have found therapy in animals. As a matter of fact, when I was in hospital, which I'm sure we're going to get to that in a bit with my trauma and stuff, the stuff that I experienced. But when I was in hospital, I didn't have too many people visit me. I had a very great select group of close family friends and friends that did come see me. But I was actually shocked when, there was people that I thought were my friends that didn't come to visit me in the hospital. And it was a knife to the heart, to say the least. But, there was therapy dogs in the hospital, and from St. John's Ambulance, and they would come in and, be there by your bedside. You just pet the dog as you're getting treatment in your hospital bed. And honestly, that was, it's just an amazing feeling to feel loved by an animal like that. I guess it's weird to say, but it's true. It's like I didn't have, I did have people come see me. It's just, a lot of the time I spent a lot of alone time in hospital. Let's leave it at that. There was a lot of alone time in hospital and a lot of questioning and depression I had to face in hospital, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. And again, if anybody is just tuning in, I'm talking here with Corey Dixon. There's a lot of, we'll get into a little more of it today here live, but all the details and a bunch of inspirational messaging is in Corey's blog, which is in our Instagram stories. So stay here live now, but when we're done, go to our Instagram stories and you can swipe up and read his whole blog. I really understand, not personally, but some close people in my life have been in a similar situation that you were in, and they experienced the fact that, like, right when it happened, they had an outpouring of people there, and then like a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and it, like, people tend to go back to their lives, and you're still in that position. So everyone is in different positions with that. But I'd love to talk about, since you brought it up, you did deal with, quite a traumatic experience, and I'm curious, as an artist, as an actor, as a musician, how has that informed how you approach your craft?
Yeah, so it's actually interesting you say that. So do you want me to talk about the trauma first and then like kind
What
of
you're comfortable with?
Sure, yeah. So back in 2016, I had a significant trauma. I fell off a 50-foot cliff. I had ruptured aorta. I was on life support, loads of fractures, loads of surgeries. I wasn't almost able to walk again. In that very moment, I thought my career was over. I thought I was done because, unfortunately, it's very true. But a lot of disabled people don't get picked for films and TV shows, and I know that was a huge thing that was advocated by the spinal cord rehab where I was, and it was sad because I was like, this has been my career all my life, and all of a sudden, this traumatic incident happened, and now I'm probably gonna have to alter things. Yeah, it was a really bad trauma. A lot of emotional stuff came along with it, along with the physical complications. But yeah, how has it affected my craft? I will say that, I do a lot of mental health talks and a lot of charity work now, more than I ever have before. I would say that it has, in a weird way, the trauma has made me a better person because I have a lot more, appreciation for life. I have a lot more appreciation for people that have helped me and people that I've worked with. And in terms of my craft, there are things that I'm working on behind the scenes in terms of, writing a Bible for a possible, documentary on my story. There's a couple of productions that actually my good friend Calix from Passage Oak Productions, he's actually we're working on a short film together right now, and we're kind of like tying in a bit of my trauma to that in a way. So yeah, it's definitely made me a better person. It's, given me lots of knowledge, I guess you would say, because I've spent so much time in hospital and so much time, with struggles that it kind of, it gave me, a strong influence to be able to do further things and even become EMR certified. I do volunteer medical work right now on the side, as well as being an actor. And it's one thing that I'm very proud of because I never thought I was going to walk again. I never thought I was going to have the ability to do a lot of stuff that I am doing. I had a brain injury, part of my fall. I had a massive brain bleed, and I still struggle with it. I still get a little foggy here and there. Memory sometimes isn't always the greatest for me. But I fight through it. And I was actually surprised when I did the EMR course to get certified and I passed it. And I was so proud of myself. It's like I got teary-eyed when I got the certificate. It was just, it's a good feeling. And now that I know that I'm able to help other people out, it's a great feeling.
You are just such an inspiration, and to come out of such like a horrible situation with so much passion and renewed energy for your craft is just so inspiring. And I'm so grateful that you shared your story here on the live and also on the Stage 32 blog. If anybody's just joining us, this whole thing is going to be on IGTV afterwards, so you can check out the whole thing. And Corey's blog is on Stage 32. You can swipe up in our stories to check it out. Well, in that same regard, do you have anything cooking regarding writing about your experience, like using it? I know you mentioned like a documentary, but have you ever thought about, writing a pilot or a feature even really? Because I know we just had we're going to be sharing the full Stage 32 success story on Monday. But one of our members based in Ireland, her name is Ron Carroll. She optioned a screenplay with a fellow Irish filmmaker, and it's a very personal, very autobiographical account of some trauma she had experienced in her life. So I'm just curious if you've thought about exploring that avenue because you have such a unique perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have. I've been in touch with another couple of writers as well because as much as I do like to write here and there, it's definitely not like something that I'm an expert at. So definitely in regards to that, I'd probably bring in like another writer and probably collaborate on it. But it's definitely something that I have been slowly but surely working on. It's just a matter of, beyond the writing side, like pre-focusing on the production side. Like if we end up doing it, like how much it's going to cost, all that fun pre-production stuff. So, but yeah, in terms of writing something in regards to my trauma, yes, it's definitely something I wanna do. I think that telling my story on a bigger scale like that would be amazing. And like I said, I want to use my story to inspire others.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the story. It sounds weird, but I do not want to use my story to highlight me. I want to use the trauma that I've been through and the recovery process and what I'm doing now, the good things I'm doing now, like mental health charities and stuff like that, to help other people. So, and that's just, yeah.
Ah, there are hearts just flying up with everything you're saying. I love it so much. Well, I have a couple of questions before we close out about the international side of your career and living in Toronto and like how everything in Canada is going. But before we dive into that, do you have any last words of wisdom or bits of advice for people looking into acting or mental health and entertainment industry?
Yeah, so in regards to the acting stuff, I get this question quite often, and I'm always like, just be yourself. I know a huge thing that people do is they'll go on one audition and they won't land it, and they'll get very, dismotivated and unmotivated, I should say, and they don't want to do any more acting after that. Don't do that. I can tell you right now that like being an actor myself, I've done several auditions, and there's auditions that you won't land. That doesn't mean you're not a good actor. That doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do. It just means that maybe you weren't right for that role. So, I always tell, aspiring actors, keep pushing forward, be yourself, be unique, right? I think like a huge thing is like being unique and create your own content. Everybody likes to wait for auditions, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Start to do your own stuff. Like, I mean, you can do some amateur stuff just off your cell phone and make, like a little tiny little, start making skits. That's what I'm doing right now during COVID is like, I'm doing fun skits for my Instagram, and I'm going to continue doing that. But yeah, just do stuff like that and get yourself out there and let people see the type of personalities you can play off as an actor. Let people see, who you are as an individual. And then from the mental health aspect, like I said, finding healthy coping methods is key. It's not easy, and the other thing too is don't be afraid to admit that you need help. I know it was super hard for me to admit that I needed help with my stuff, but at the end of the day, seriously, it's going to come to a point where you're going to have to admit it. And, talk to someone that you trust if you don't want to like be all open about it. That's totally fine. But you eventually will have to confront it. And if you don't confront it, you're going to find that it's going to even be harder to struggle with.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to take medications, but sometimes you do. Like I take anti-anxiety meds. I do speak to a one-on-one therapist. I'm no perfect human being, and that's the thing is that when people see me doing all these industry stuff, and when I post something in regards to industry or a fun skit, it's almost like they kind of want to say not forget, but forget, in a way that I am still a human being and that I still suffer with depression. I still suffer with anxiety. It's something that I deal with on a daily basis, right? So I'm just like any other human, and I think we're all human, and we all have, nobody's perfect, and just take care of your mental health. Just that's the primary thing. You need to take care of your mental health just as much as you're taking care of your physical health.
Absolutely. And I mean, such great advice all around regarding acting and mental health. And you mentioned a little bit, like, people will see you post a skit and they're like, oh, he's good now. And they like forget about everything else that might be going on. And I think social media can be such a vacuum for two parts. I think it can really highlight some negativity in general in the world, and it can also tend to highlight the picture perfect moments of people's lives. So it's hard to get in between the cracks, like actually find relatable moments with people. So I really applaud you for sharing your authenticity and bringing some light and some positivity into the internet sphere, because we are very much in that same camp here at Stage. So that's
Absolutely. I always try my best, even on Twitter, just to do at least one tweet a day that's like, inspirational or something that could uplift someone. Because you never know, right? I can make a Facebook post or a Twitter post just saying, something really nice, and it could literally just uplift one person's, mood for the day. And
yeah.
that's me doing my job. If I'm like, I have a saying, if I can at least make just one person smile a day, then I'm doing my job here on earth. I almost died once, and if I'm as long as I'm doing that, that is honestly all I care about.
Well, you definitely did your job today, because I am grinning ear to ear and hearts are flying up. I think the people watching are also enjoying this. I really appreciate your inspirational story. So, um, I would love to quickly wrap it up with a little, if you have a little tidbit taste for, we have a lot of, I know we have a huge amount of Stage 32 members that are based in Canada. Do you have any, tips, or what's it like there in the Toronto atmosphere for actors such as yourself?
So right now, for me personally, it's a little slow because I actually just did my EMR recertification course. So that's something that I was taking, that I let take priority. So the entire month of March, I was off doing that. So it's been a little slow for me, but honestly, it's been pretty booming here. I've seen a lot of film sets just driving by on the street, and I'm one of those curiosity people that literally like to stop in and say, "Hey, what you filming here?" As an actor, I'm just like, "Hey, what's going on?" But there's a lot filming in Ontario right now, and it's actually pretty busy, which is really nice to see, especially during this pandemic. Um, it's great to see. So yeah, I keep hoping that Ontario keeps launching more film productions, and I hope that I end up landing something again soon. I'm so excited as an actor. I just every time I'm on set, I'm like one of those kids. It's like, yay! It's like I'm here, and then focus into that
Yeah.
character, right? So yeah.
Well, Nancy just commented, you are awesome, proud of you. And the hearts that just continue to fly up, I think, are seconding that. Well, thank you for that Toronto tidbit. If anyone is interested, I also wanted to let you guys know that next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we are hosting on Stage 32. We have Ivory Coast-born actor Bamba John Bamba, who is in Suicide Squad, Black Panther, The Good Place. He is teaching an amazing totally free webcast on Stage 32 about how to get work in the US as an immigrant actor. And he's going to do a lot of information about visas and a lot of the technical stuff that goes into that. So be sure to check that out. We have links in our stories, or if anybody just needs to DM, and I can send you the link. But I thought you guys might want to know. So thank you.
I might actually check that out because that
Yeah.
sounds really interesting. So I might be there.
Yeah. Love to have you. Love to see you there. Well, if anybody missed any of this, I'm about to post it on IGTV, and you can catch Corey's blog on Stage 32. So in the meantime, Corey, thank you so much. You are such
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly, thank you once again so much for having me. I greatly appreciate that you gave me a platform to talk about not just the entertainment industry, but obviously mental health, which is super, super important. And honestly, thank you everybody here for joining in and watching and supporting the live stream. It means a lot. And if you want to reach out to me, honestly, my DMs are open. Just reach out to me anytime. I love talking to people, especially, people want to vent. I'm no mental health professional, but I love talking to people, and especially people that have had, like traumas or, mental health issues as well. I love talking to people. So I'm always here. DMs are open. Love you guys so much. And once again, Stage 32, awesome platform. If you are an aspiring actor, you need to check them out.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone can join for free at stage32.com, and we'll see you there. It's a great place to meet people, engage. Thank you, everybody. I just saw someone said, great, we'll be catching. Anne is going to DM you. Someone said, keep up the great and informative videos. Thank you so much. We have tons of these on our IGTV. So I've interviewed some more amazing Stage 32 members. And we actually have a whole video about rejection and getting over that, and it's super positive. So there's a lot of good stuff in the entertainment industry, and Stage 32 members that wear every hat under the sun. So thank you so much, Corey. You have a wonderful rest of your day, and everybody else out there, have a happy Thursday, and thank you for your comments. We'll see you on Stage 32.
All right, bye guys, stay safe, and thank you so much. Love you.
Bye. Bye.